Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and may I state that you are one of the longest serving members of this legislature, and we're not better equipped to be here than you are. You're the Vice Speaker and thus the Chairman of this committee. And thank you very much for asking me to make a statement at this stage of the hearing, in the hope that I can do as best I can to make clear issues and efforts that are now before this hearing. Foremost, of course, among those efforts is our collective obligation and the right of the people to know and to come to understand the concerns of the Y.A.P group, the chronological actions by the state government or the executive branch with ETG, as well as the actions taken by the legislature. What led the EG investment agreement to the ETG investment agreement was a signed strategic framework agreement by the governor on behalf of the state government on April 21, 2011 in China. That agreement provided the basis for the investment agreement. Many a version of the investment agreement have been submitted to the legislature, and 3 standing committees of the legislature held public hearings for 4 days on number 5 version of that agreement. After the public hearings, the legislature received from the executive branch number 6 version of the agreement on August 9, 2012, which included some of the suggested changes aired in the public hearings. The version of the investment agreement that was signed 2 days later, after the public hearings on August 11, 2012, was a new version, which did not include some of the amendments suggested in the public hearing, but included language that were not even in the number 5 version on which the standing committees held their hearings, or in the version number 6 of the agreement. In a way of chronological presentation of the events, Mr. Chairman, leading up to today's hearing, I present as follows. The strategic framework agreement signed by our governor in China on April 21, 2011, the memorandum of understanding signed with ETG by the chairman of Council of Pidum on January 12, 2012, memorandum of understanding signed by the director of the YNCA on October 20, 2011, Resolution 829 of the legislature requesting the governor not to sign the investment agreement until the people are informed about the ETG project. And that is on January 26, 2012. Resolution number 931, which was requesting ETG to stop its investment activities until Yap's people have come together to understand the project, was adopted on April 19, 2012. After that, the 5 sets of investment agreement versions were submitted to the legislature on June 13, 2012. The investment agreement itself was signed with ETG on August 11, 2012. And then the last resolution number 853, which is a subject of in the petition here, requesting governor to inform ETG that the investment agreement is to be void and for ETG to stop implementing a project in Yap. That was September 18, 2012. Then there's a letter from Governor to Chairman Deng Hong of ETG, advising him of the opposition to the ETG project in Yap and that he considered voiding the agreement. That was dated October 1st, 2012. Then there's a letter from the Philippine Control directing and commending that the project not be implemented, and that is dated September 21, 2012. Then there's a letter from Deng Hong to Governor in reply to his October 1st, 2012 letter, which is dated December 27, 2012. Then 2 weeks ago, the President Mori and Ambassador Susaya to China visited Yap and met with the government and many people in Yap, including the legislature, on the ETG project. The letter from Y.A.P that submitted the Y.A.P petition to the legislature on November 26, 2012 called for 1. Unity amongst the leaders to effectuate unity in the communities. Further explore into ETG's investment proposal to pursue all possible benefits. The petition itself from Y.A.P expressed disagreement with the recent resolution of the legislature, which is Resolution 8-53. That resolution was adopted to support Governor's letter to advise the chairman of ETG to void the ETG agreement. The petition also pointed out that the Y.A.P group does not support the position of others to recall the government. To this, the legislature has no role with regard to any recall of governor or any official, because the recall process is not a legislative process or issue. It is the people's issue. And at the time of the petition, there was no petition for recall that was submitted to the government or the legislature. The main issue throughout the Y.A.P petition is on the important need for unity among the leaders to support development and foreign investment because of the distressing economy, and express disagreement with the recent resolution adopted by the legislature. The petition also asked the legislature to support and encourage the governor to diligently pursue his legal mandates in promoting suitable and sustainable investment, foreign investment, and private sector growth. The legislature is bewildered and concerned by Y.A.P's issuance of their petition, which is their right to do. After the resolution was adopted by the legislature and the letter from the transitional chief was issued, the letter from the governor was sent to ETG asking to void the investment agreement. The legislature has not discouraged the governor in his pursuit of foreign investment. However, the legislature has asked that the people be kept informed and be fully and follow fully established sanction policies and allow for transparency of government operation. As the hearing proceeds, Mr. Chairman, it will come to light why the legislature took the actions it has taken. These actions are not against the governor or foreign investment, but they are for the right of the people to be informed and for the process to be transparent. These actions by the legislature were taken to uphold the important policy that the government initiatives, whether in pursuit of foreign investment or others, need to be pursued pursuant to policies sanctioning such initiatives. And that the consideration of such initiatives be open and transparent. That is why the consideration of the EDG project cannot simply be a matter of economics, dollar amounts, and investment, but much more than that. And the call by all, including Y.A.P, for the leaders of the state to come together is a very important issue, because we are to lead the state, and our leading the state is much more important than our differences of opinion. Again, the thrust of the Y.A.P petition is on the importance of development and foreign investment and the unity of the leaders to pursue development. There is no disagreement with that. Our difference could perhaps lie in the approaches, but the most important issue are for us to uphold and defend the importance of policies initiating, sanctioning initiatives of government and internal decision-making processes. This open forum with open participation will eventually lead all concerned to greater understanding as part of that important process of seeking common ground. And in so doing, we would, as we must, hold our laws and our processes high in all that we do to consider external issues and foreign investment. We observe in all of these petitions, resolutions, and letters that we all have strong and unwavering support for a developed and self-sustaining economy and society. And yes, a society that cherishes values that are as old as Yap itself, but as new as our renewed determination to achieve sustainable development, but not at our expense, but to enhance the cherished values for those to become foundation, to continue as foundation for the future of our people. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. So that was very much the position of the legislature, and of course how we got to where we are today. But before we go on, I'd like to remind ourselves and everyone that everybody in this room, I'd like to think of it that way. Everyone is a concerned citizen, you know. There's, of course, and I say this with due respect to one of the groups that consider itself as the concerned citizens. But I'd like to think that all of us are concerned citizens, because even though we might have some differences, there's just maybe in the process of what we should be emphasizing, but we have one common goal. All of us would like to have the best happen to Yap and the people of Yap. So in essence, we're one and the same. And so to go on, I'd like to ask everyone to be kind. Try not to attack one another or insult anybody, because after all, in deep in it, we're one and the same. Keep that in mind, please. Yeah, go ahead. Kamakan. Kabiras na kami yung hopunan na rawang nga nagigit ko media na mga idarang karkatan ni Katugaran nga diba? Mas na lagabi nga rin meron pang siyempre negara ng sama makatagal ko na dia program na nuabi akan panumpan arawan pandulit po sa mo ito pa nga nga kita dia ko mga kapatid ya panwatan nga